Welcome, Chosen One.
Hey guys, welcome to the Ace of Plays channel, and to yet another fun, entertaining Gwent video that is meant to make you satisfied, make you have fun with the idea of Gwent, even though this current meta, which is almost over, has been a little bit, subpar, I guess. So today I sat down because I wanted to play Regis. I wanted to try to get maybe a couple of good games with Iced Regis, just so I could make another fun video for you. I ended up reaching rank 1 with this deck, which, I was so set on not reaching rank 1 this season, because every time I get sort of on a roll, and suddenly it's Ardal, DJ, Ardal, DJ, full test. And there were definitely a couple of DJs. We have Usurper here. No Ardal, no full test today, which was fun. I have to say I noticed the difference in enjoyment. But yeah, I reached rank 1 with this deck, and it's just a crazy, fun deck. And I mentioned this before, if you can kill Dodric, do it right away. Because you deny Usurper so much value from doing this. Now, let's talk a little bit about this deck. So, the main combo is to set up, units for Regis. So he deals 1 damage to everything on a row, of course, and then if something dies, he does it again. If something dies, he does it again. So you want to set up like a 1 and a 2 and a 3. So we do that using light longships, Tainted Ale, stuff like that. We have Novellin to move 3 adjacent units onto the other row, so we get a little bit of control over the row stacking of our opponent. And then we use Summoning Circle and Aced to pull a Great Sword from the deck and from the graveyard, and then we play Regis. So he deals all this damage, which is already sick, and then you have 2 Great Swords boosting self by 1 for each time each unit on that row is damaged. I've played similar decks on the channel before. People seem to really like this, which is why I figured it would be a good idea to try to bring it back, for this week of fun. I guess it's been 2 weeks of fun now. But previous versions, have included Dagger 2 Blades, who of course is like the Great Sword on steroids. We don't run that because what we're trying to do is row based anyway. So Dagger 2 Blades would really just be a Great Sword with 1 more point for 4 more provisions. And that's not good. I prefer this deck without Dagger. And we are using those provisions to instead give us more power plays that we play Olaf, Knut the Callous, very strong bronze package, stuff like that to give us a chance to, win round 1, because that's really important. You really want to have last say and a long round with this. So if you lose round 1 and you get bled, then you lose. Like, this deck is very vulnerable to bleeding. This version, more than others, are more resilient and have more power, like I said, in round 1, but you can still lose to like strong syndicate decks and stuff like that. And then you really have to alter your playstyle, and to be honest, I wasn't put in that position today, so I don't really have any tips and tricks for that as of right now, but I'm sure people in the comments will have something nice to say about that, so please share your wisdom, share your knowledge. It's really important that we share in this community, because that's how we all get better. That's how I make better videos, that's how new players get better at the game, that's how existing players get to pro rank. Not by watching my videos, but by listening to other people's tips and tricks. So we're getting awfully close to Regis range. We have a 1, we have a 2, we have a 3. Usually that's enough. If you have a 1 and a 2 and a big row, that's usually enough to win. But we have a 3. Of course, the longship is shielded. But yeah. There we go. And we only had 1 greatsword. We didn't have 2 because obviously our leader was shut down. Against Usurper, one thing I did in this gameplay, but I didn't think of mentioning it in my commentary right now, is that I tried to play like 4 strength engines, like I played a protector and stuff to try to bait out his Shoop, because they always play Shoop. And I didn't want Shoop to high roll into artifact removal, because then we have no greatswords. But generally, you should probably try to have a greatsword in hand against Usurper. Because we're playing them so late in the round, like most of the removal will be gone, so often it will be safe. But if they have artifact removal, then we lose both our ways to get greatswords in the same turn as Regis. So you should probably try to keep a greatsword in hand when playing against Usurper, and try to bleed out his Shoop. Try to get his Shoop out in some way. Now this is Yarpen. Which, you know, obviously tells us right away it's gonna be Spell-a-Tell. Or Skoya-Spell, as I prefer calling it. Spell-a-Tell is such a dumb name. I like Skoya-Spell. And I've seen people mention this deck every now and then lately, so it's a thing. But turns out it's like Dwarfs Spell-a-Tell, which is also something I've seen mentioned. It's like a hybrid where you play spells and I guess Yarpen, and then you also have, you know, the Novigradian Justice into Markham Mercenaries, Dwarven Mercenaries. And you have Harold Gord as a finisher, who is a dwarf, so it's... I see why this hybrid has arisen, but I think I would prefer to just play straight up dwarves, to be honest. Now this video is going to be sort of a lengthy one, so it's of course important to stay hydrated. Imstal, sponsor me if you want to. There's no point. I mean, this is a Norwegian brand and very few of my viewers are Norwegian, so you wouldn't really reach out to anyone. But if water wants to sponsor me, that would be great, because I'm an advocate of water. But yeah, drink, guys. You gotta drink something. I mean, I'm dry. I'm dried up. And I gotta speak for like, let's see, how much is left? 23 minutes at least? Yeah, about 25. Gotta leave some time to ramble after the gameplay is over. Alright. Now, I don't know if this deck is just very consistent. Of course, we do have the discard package and Royal Decree. And of course, Summoning Circle is a consistency card. So I guess the deck is fairly consistent, but I don't know if it's the consistency or just a little bit of luck, but I have been able to draw this combo every single game that I played today, and it was amazing. Our opponent drops Harold Gord because I guess they didn't really get their spells off. And also, I kind of imagined maybe their entire hand was spells. And you can't really play those on an empty board. As a dump. Now there's Milva. And we have Delirium. I'm considering it, but to be honest, that Milva doesn't pose that much of a threat, so I was just gonna wait and see to maybe see if it got, you know, bigger. Of course, I should have seen this coming, because I've played against this exact type of playstyle with the double immune before, and we end up not killing either one of them, but we got them pretty low, so maybe they'll be easier to Regis. Now the thing about dwarves is that they do row stack, so that's good for us. That is really good for us. But we don't have much removal, so this actually it's kind of rough. and also Scoia'tael very often play artifact removal because they have probably one of the best artifact removers in the game. But this is not Usurper, so we still have Aced. We still have one Greatsword. And we're gonna get a big row. This is obvious from the row stacking. So we're gonna get a big row. If we can get a couple of sweeps with Regis, one Greatsword should suffice. Now I am trying my best in this game to get those charges out of him. That's annoying, like boosting all those units up. It's gonna make it really hard to profit, I'd say. Now I'm using Knut the Callous as a way to put Dennis Cranmer to 3 strength. I was planning to do this with one of the mercenaries, but then obviously they were all boosted up to 5. But it's okay. I mean, like, really, we don't quite give a shit. That's the great thing about this deck. Like, a lot of the time you fall so far behind, but you're just sitting there like, I don't care. I don't give a damn. Because you just know. You know what's gonna happen. And I know that this longship is gonna die. I did not expect that, but I probably should. But yeah, now noticing what I should have noticed the turn before is that I can fill up that row. So if he has Great Oak, it's dead. If he has the dwarf that boosts by all the dwarfs on the row, it's dead. And he gets a few free points there, but his Crushing Trap is pretty bad. So Francesca Dwarfs, really strong. I love that deck so much. My favorite Scoia'tael deck by far. It's really strong, gets a lot of points on the board, a lot of removal. But, like I said, full row, a couple of sweeps, one Greatsword was enough. But the thing is, I got a full row, and when you get a full row, and you pull off the Regis Greatsword combo, the fact that I won by only 4 points, that says something about my opponent's deck. Honestly, like, that's impressive by them. But yeah, here we go, DJ. Now, I'm featuring 2 DJ games in this video, because I played 2 DJ games. They're different decks. The next one is going to be a bounty deck. This one, not so much. This is just more traditional DJ. DJ is a little bit scary because of, what's it called? Eventide Plunder, the card that I revealed. Thank you very much. You know, the artifact destruction card. I mean, I think most of them don't run it anymore. It used to be a one-of in most